So what would actually happen here is you would have us up here, and then you would have like the other side over there, but you wouldn't have it on all sides. Maybe if you were shooting down, because the chance of a crossfire going across the way, you never want to like shoot next to someone like that. Wow. That was much more successful than I thought it would be. Almost like we triggered something. Oh, Dr. Merriweather mentioned that she's seen numerous patients exhibiting similar symptoms, even paranoia and aggression, but she appears to be less concerned than the rest of us. I'm starting to wonder whether her close ties to the COG administration could be affecting her judgment about the patient's welfare. Going to follow up with this with the director tomorrow. If we aren't taking care of our soldiers, who will? Ooh. But that's not like a so it's weird. In the books they talk about this, the cogs eat a lot because they're wearing that gear, they're constantly running missions, and they need the protein. They're like on a super high protein based diet, so they get more stuff than the average person would, which is why when you see the other people, they look so small compared to you because they're malnourished. And it's just one of those. Takes those guys out. No, you can't leave. Bam. Was it only the 3? Oh, nope, these guys up here. This game does play a little bit looser than the later one. The later one has such a tight control to it, and this one does not. So it is one of those like, oh shit, what am I doing? Like I'm like trying to aim, and it like this slides is the best way I have to describe it. And it just goes to show you how far they've come. But like the game still holds up well. Textures are a little bit meh. The armor could be somewhat better there, but I'll take it. Like I love this series so much. So that's totally a thing that you do have to worry about, and that I have seen military, especially when things get called wrong, are when helicopters or something like that are going by and recalling an air support and not paying attention to where the air support's supposed to be at. I like how you shoot them in the face. So the Locust, once again, they're supposed to be stronger than us. We know that they're super soldiers because we've played 5 already. We know that they're like a better version of us here. But I like that, like, it's like holding his head, like it got hit in the head and it rocked it back. And I still love those, like, growls. They're they're so good because you can definitely hear the audible words that they're saying, but it's not, what was I doing? I was trying to charge up my chainsaw, but I just botched it. Let me do that again. It took me like an entire level to die last time, and here I'm like, I'm gonna run up and chainsaw him. Oof. All the way back here. Yeah, let's pop that there. Ooh, he just teleported in. Drop it back, he's gonna try to retreat. Take him out in the face. Back to where we were. We're good. We got this. And the Hammerverse, like, this is one of the games where I also, the weapons haven't changed much since this game series came out, because you have like the Hammerverse has always been here, the Lancer's always been here, the bow torch, maybe like one or two new weapons added on here or there, especially with 4, showing that the game has progressed. Marcus builds like the better version of the Lancers, things like that kind of happen, but it's definitely not. I don't know, like, I feel like Resistance was a really big culprit for this, where it was the... Ooh, did not mean to do that. Where they had, like, a different weapon, it felt like every other game here for you that you had to deal with, and it was like, oh, here's a new version of this, here's a new version of this. This is now... And I guess it wasn't huge differences, but they were differences enough that I was just like, why? Like, you have a really good weapon here. Why can't you just be like, oh, okay, hey, guess what? Here's this really good pistol. You get to keep the pistol. And they went from like the pistol. The game didn't have a pistol. They changed up how different weapons acted and functioned throughout this series there. The one sniper rifle could slow down time, they got rid of it, they added the 3-round burst, and it just felt like they didn't commit to, you have a great set of sci-fi weapons. There were some you could have cleaned up, one or two that I'm like, yeah, the fact that it didn't come back, like, it does not break my heart. But Gears, I would say Gears and probably Halo would be the next one, where they've kept a lot of them the same, because if it's not broke, don't fix it. Look at our military, we're still using some weapons or weapon models because they work. The M16, okay, now we're on the M4, we're on a Columbine, we have an assault version, we've got a bunch of different, like, versions of it that are still very, very good, but the basic design for it, we're like, no, this weapon works, why would we get rid of that? It doesn't make sense. And there's something in here. Who's this? Rat Pack. Just sink to a medical helicopter. Patient name, Jonathan Harper. Occupation, Sergeant Echo 9, COG Army, 29. Patient is a 9-year veteran who has recently experienced vertigo, persistent cough, and insomnia. Was stationed at Timgad area for 2 months after light mass offensive. Then assigned to Jacinto Perimeter Patrol for the last 4 months. Symptoms began 1 month ago. Physical and diagnostic evaluation showed no chronic illness and no signs of bacterial infection. Prescribed medium-strength antihistamine. Released patient and gave clearance for further duty. Expect a full recovery with no side effects. That's Dr. Merriweather pushing people back out. That's really cool. My squad entered a tournament for a Call of Duty. I was supposed to play with them on Saturday, but I did not make the qualifications. I didn't have enough games played, and they were about 4 points away from money this time. They made soft money last time, and it was really cool because, like, I mean, you made money playing a video game, and these guys are all very, very good at games and at competitive shooters. So it's one of those, like, I'm bummed for them. Like, they definitely deserve the win there. They play very, very hard, and they're solid. They've got great teamwork. They communicate super well. So, like, if you guys see Arsenal 1 whenever they're playing something, definitely worth checking out because they are. Yeah, let's get that out of here. Definitely cool. One of the things I've talked about in this game before is I do love I'm gonna say, like, bio-organic machines. When you play, like, a lot of games and you do sci-fi or any sort of military shooter, Alien machinery is something that's very cool and can easily be like, oh, this is really interesting and unique, or this is terrible. Resistance has my favorite, where you had to fight the Stalkers and the Goliaths. The Goliaths in the first game, they were okay, but the Goliaths from 3 were horrifying, and you saw like physically how much stronger they were than you. Even in 2, they were done very well. When you were dealing with those as like monstrosities that they were, and then the Stalker was really cool. But then you see like Halo, you get to pilot a little bit. They all kind of feel the same, with some changes here and there. And the issue with it when it comes to like, oh, I'm taking on this alien race, is when they have like a tank or something. Tanks can only feel so anything before you're not really anything. Like, it's just, it feels generic, it feels cliche, you've played it before, and it's not going to feel different from game to game. But in here, where you get to see, you get the wraiths as they came in, that you saw there, and I just lost what it was, when you get to see the walking brumacs, and it's like they pilot those, but they're also living. That to me is one of the best ways that you can do any design for a monster, for something that you're saying, oh no, this thing is terrifying and you have to fight it and all of this horrific stuff about it. I love it so much, and like I said, this is probably one of the best series when it comes to producing and doing that, because it's like, okay, these things are clearly very different than us. They are not the same as God, I love some of those things, but they're different. And it shouldn't feel similar. I think it's a disservice when it's like, okay, here's the alien tank. You know what it feels like? The tank from it feels like the tank the humans have. It just fires plasma. It fires in an arc. So I guess that's like my only real grievance. And like I said, this game does it very well in not doing that. I love Ty running up there. Just because it shows, like, I think it's one of those things where it's like, it shows how strong he is and how fearless he is. And it definitely sets him up for a motif where you get to see that there are these warrior cultures, kind of like what we have here, in our own history. I think it's a fantastic showing off of just this game being like, there are other cultures, there are other things that have been appropriated and added in. So goddamn good.